Hello, everyone. It's a privilege to be here today to have the opportunity to present to you at what I know is going to be a fantastic maximum occupancy conference in Perth. My name is Sean Jenner. I'm the CEO of Big Four Holiday Parks in Australia. Today, I'm here to talk to you about some of the recent extraordinary growth we've seen in caravan and camping trips in Australia, including a special focus on WA. We'll delve into some of the numbers, the trends, and the economic impact of holiday parks and this thriving industry more broadly, and ultimately its pivotal role in the state's visitor economy. Firstly, though, the keenly eyed amongst you may recognise this image of Busselton Jetty. I was really fortunate to be able to spend my summer break in WA this year with my family down in Busselton. So whilst I can't be there in person this week, sadly, rest assured my heart is very much still there after the fantastic few weeks we shared exploring your beautiful state a few months ago. So to begin with, I wanted to highlight some of the significant economic impact of caravan and camping trips. Now, the data I'm about to share is from 2023 and at a national level. There's no question we've been part of a golden era as an industry in recent times, really driven by the impact of COVID and the positive uplift that drove for regional travel. There are now more than 800,000 RVs and caravans registered on Australian roads, and that's grown by more than 100,000 in the last 3 years alone. The caravan and camping sector is vitally important to Australia's visit economy overall and delivered over 60 million domestic nights in 2023. Most importantly, though, these visitors are spending more than $10.7 billion whilst they travel, which in turn supports local economies, job creation, and regional communities, keeping in mind that over 80% of travel to caravan and camping sites is in regional communities across Australia. When we look at WA more specifically, this growth trajectory we've seen has certainly extended across to the west. We had $1.3 billion in visitor expenditure to caravan and camping parks in 2023, and that was driven by almost 2 million overnight trips to parks in WA. In total, that represented about 8 million nights in caravan and camping nights in WA. So we're seeing about 4 nights per stay, which has declined a little bit, probably over the longer term. Really interestingly, when we look at, source of travel, largely WA has been an intrastate destination historically. Though when we start to look at trip types over the last 3 years, we've seen significant growth in the interstate audience, who now represent about a third of trips within WA. Not surprisingly, the data in 2021 and 2022 will have been affected by COVID travel restrictions, but this shows there is still really strong demand and interest from WA from an interstate perspective, and a definite opportunity for that share to grow with the right focus and investment going forward. In the last 12 months, we've also seen some really interesting consumer trends emerging following the exponential growth of the category that we saw through and coming out of COVID. Firstly, there's actually been a really recent downturn in caravan and camping trips in WA for the over 55 demographic, who are historically, a really core segment and what we're known for. And so they've decreased by about 22% on the previous year to about 527,000 trips. We know this segment's been buoyed by stronger financial positions due to increased savings and higher interest rates that we've seen economically. And this has meant for this sector that they've had a significant 200% increase in outbound international travel. And so this shift in particular has affected those long distance road trips into Northern Australia, as this segment were more likely to travel further and stay longer relative to others that we know about. Really interestingly, though, offsetting this decline has been an extraordinary growth in younger customers. So the 20 to 29-year-old segment, which we call our next-gen road trippers, has exploded in growth and now represents almost 500,000 trips themselves, so not far behind that traditional older segment. Finally, we've got families, so that group that's in the 30 to 50-year-old age bracket, and they're holding really steady and they remain our heartland as customers. This really underlines the sector's appeal to this demographic, that despite all the financial pressures we're seeing from rising interest rates and mortgages, we're still seeing real stability, and that highlights the role that caravan and camping sector has in value-based experiences across a range of price points. And it also highlights the importance of providing experiential offerings in an increasingly competitive market. I wanted to take a moment and touch a little bit about Big Four and share some of the data that we've got access to and I guess the experience and breadth we have in the industry. A little bit of background on how Big Four started. So ultimately, we're here today because 4 park owners in Ballarat in 1979, these 4 strapping gentlemen you'll see on screen, agreed on a fundamental truth, and they wanted to compete more effectively by banding together. And they knew by doing so they'd have a greater chance of success. And ultimately, that's how Big Four started. It was 4 parks that thought, let's work together because we can do more together than we can individually. Since then, the Big Four network's grown rapidly and now numbers 141 parks nationally, along with a further 123 partner parks that we have listed with us on big4.com.au. So a total of 263 parks available to book through us today. This is a real testament to the strength and resilience of the brand, even in an environment where we're seeing significant industry consolidation. So over time, we're seeing a reduced number of independent parks, and more group corporates emerging who've been acquiring parks in recent years. However, this really shows how compelling the Big Four brand is, and we've been able to deliver some fantastic results to the parks that we've brought on over the last few years. We have 12 Big Four parks in WA, and they're a great case in point and a showcase in the depth and breadth and history of our brand. On one hand, we've got our oldest park, Big Four Taunton Farm, which again, I was able to visit earlier this year in Margaret River, which has been with the group for over 30 years. Whilst in contrast, our newest, Big Four Bunbury, just joined us last month and is off to a flying start and delivering some fantastic results. One of the key things to understand about holiday parks for those of you who may not have experienced our product recently is how much the product experience has continued to rapidly grow and evolve, with parks investing significantly in their facilities and experiences. Many holiday parks today, both from Big Four and the wider industry, are a far cry from the caravan parks of our parents' generation. Big Four parks in particular have continued to raise the bar and exceed guest expectations. And a wonderful example of this is Big Four Emu Beach in Albany with its newly opened splash park, which you can see on screen. This elevation in product is one reason for the quality of overall experience that holiday parks can now deliver. Both Big Four and the national industry body, the Caravan Industry Association of Australia, work with Review Pro to benchmark our experience versus other accommodation types. This graph on screen highlights some of the global industry review data from Review Pro over the last 3 years, looking at all accommodation types globally, and then specifically 3 to 5 star hotels. When we look at how Big Four data compares to this based on our own Review Pro GRI performance of our 141 Big Four branded parks, you can see just how strong the quality of experiences we're delivering. Essentially, we're sitting in the range between what 4 and 5 star hotels are delivering globally. Now, if I'd said that to you when you consider the quality in facilities and experiences caravan parks might have delivered 20 or 30 years ago when we grew up, that's a testament to just how far the industry has grown. And I'm incredibly proud of the role that Big Four parks have played in leading that journey. This premiumisation of the industry through this elevated product and guest experiences is also paying dividends to our parks. So when we look at industry data, again, we've seen an increase in the average spend per trip of around 40% in the past 5 years to over $700. And that's alongside an average spend per night increase of 50%. So the ability for parks to drive yield through this period is a testament to the quality of experiences our parks are now delivering. A real positive for both the Big Four industry and the industry more broadly is that future intention to stay at Big Four parks continues to climb. So pleasingly, Big Four remains an outlier, and we're seeing record levels of attention as a brand, which is something we're hugely proud of, meaning that we've got plenty to be optimistic about going forward as well. So where does that leave us today? We're in a genuinely strong position as an industry, which we should celebrate and be proud of. We're seeing continued investment in the sector, which is elevating our product and the yields our parks can achieve. And this is resulting in improved guest experience and a growing intention to travel to holiday parks on top of the already elevated experiences and performance that we've seen throughout COVID. So in closing, when I reflect on the strong position we're in today, I love this quote from Ray Kroc, who is the visionary founder of McDonald's. He said, the two most important requirements for major success are, first, being in the right place at the right time, and second, doing something about it. Big Four as a brand, and more importantly, as a holiday park category and industry, we are absolutely in the right place at the right time. In the past 3 years, we've had more people experience our caravan and camping product for the first time than ever before. A huge sampling opportunity that really fell in our lap through COVID. In a challenging, uncertain economic environment that we're in, there is absolutely no category I'd rather be in than holiday parks, and there is no brand I'd rather be part of than Big Four. The question for us is, what are we going to do about it to ensure we capture this moment together and ensure that we remain the category of choice for the next generation of holiday makers? This is genuinely a generational opportunity for us and something that we need to consider and capture with both hands. So I hope that's given you a really clear snapshot into the thriving industry that is holiday parks in Australia and specifically WA. I've loved having the opportunity to share these insights and wish you all the very best for the rest of the conference. If you have any more questions, please feel free to connect on LinkedIn and I'd be more than happy to answer them if I can. So thank you again. Have a great day and look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.